Okay, folks, welcome back to another edition of Action Figure Imagery. Today we have G.I. Joe Classified Series Cobra Big Boa figure. He is the trainer of Cobra Commander's army. When they're training, he's a boxer, and you see he comes with some nice accessories too. A mask, helmet rather, and he lifts weights, as you can see. And his boxing gloves are definitely in there. You'll have to replace his regular fist with the boxing gloves, as you can see. And sorry about the glare from the lights. There's the side of the packaging. As you can see, he's figure number 114. You see all his specialties on the side. And there he is, and on the back, right there, like in a mixed martial arts ring, an MMA ring that he looks like he's in. And they get a close-up of his accessories here on the side. There's taped wrists. Just look at blood. I did not notice that at first until I did this video. They actually have blood stains on his taped wrists. So he's pretty dangerous. He doesn't need boxing gloves on to cause blood on his opponent's faces. He has blood on his taped wrists. I did not notice that one until I did the video. So he's a pretty dangerous guy, it looks like it. Okay, now we have a look at Big Boa inside the packaging. Now let's have a look at Big Boa outside of the packaging. Okay, folks, here we have Big Boa out of the packaging. And there he is. And as we've seen him as a 84, 83, or 85 when this guy was introduced to the G.I. Joe toy line back in the day. Get a good look at the figure up close. The mask, the armor, or whatever you prefer to call this. The boxing gloves up close. You can see the Cobra logo on a glove. And the left glove. There's the boxing gear, the undergarment. That's the. For many of you who may not know what this thing is right here, this guard, this professional boxers really do wear these things. For those of you that may not be familiar with the sport of boxing, these are the things that they wear underneath their boxing shorts to protect them from low blows. By me being somewhat of a boxing fan myself, I know it's I forget what it's called, but it protects the boxer from low blows in that area. And you see the rest of his outfit and the boots he wears, close to his boots. Alright, and as you see, the hole in the back, it's all G.I. Joe classified figures have those. Alright, and then the gloves have articulation to them also. You can turn them all kind of ways. You can make them turn it into a jab, like he's throwing a jab that way, and turn them this way for uppercut. And so you got all around articulation for the gloves, and you can also take the gloves off by removing these cuffs right here on his wrists and replacing them with the bandage hands. And we'll have a look at Big Boa's accessories right here, as you see in the Ziploc bag. Let me open it up. As he does not come with many accessories at all, just a couple of barbells and the head that he came with. But as you see, I have his helmeted head on instead of the unmasked head. But since he comes with the unmasked head, and there's up close to the barbell right there, as you can see. And both barbells have the same numbers on them. Is the question that I have now about these barbells, is that the number 90, or, oh, dropped it on the floor. Well, here's the other one. Is that a 90, or is it the number 6? Which one is it? Which number is it? If you flip, as you can see, if you flip it this way, it's 06. Flip it the other way around, and it's a 90, so I'm assuming it's 90 and not 6, but it's hard to tell. Ask the creators of the figure. They should know. And then, of course, you know, you got his face, his unmasked face. And I never knew what Big Boa looked like as a kid underneath his helmet. But now, thanks to the G.I. Joe Classified toy line, we finally see his face after all these years. Unless he made an appearance with his face in the comics. You know, G.I. Joe, there's a lot of comic books, G.I. Joe comic books too. Marvel comics and other companies too that made G.I. Joe comic books. Maybe he showed his face in the comic books. And notice the missing teeth. Yeah, like he's been punched in the face. He has a boxer's face. And finally, the tape fist that he comes with. The blood on there. Assuming that's, yes, what else can it be but blood? Yes, and for those of you, I'm sure many of you already know that, us old schoolers especially, that G.I. Joe, there was a crossover, well, not really a crossover, but you remember the days when the Street Fighter characters joined G.I. Joe in a 3-inch line. And I'm comparing Big Boa with a Street Fighter legend, Balrog. I mean, you know, let's see, he's a boxer also. How does he compare against Balrog? Oh, and you'll see these two in the slideshow later on. Here these two are together. If you want Big Boa to box someone, or have him boxing someone beside G.I. Joe figures, you can have him box Balrog if you want. But look at how much larger Balrog's gloves are than Big Boa's. Look at the size difference between the two gloves. And yeah, but I'm sure many of you old schoolers like myself remember when they bought Street Fighter characters over to the G.I. Joe line, the 3-inch line. By the way, this Balrog figure is Soda Toys Balrog. For those of you who have been, like myself, that's been collecting action figures for quite a while now. These figures, as many of you know, were released back in the early 2000s. I can't remember what the exact years. 2005, something like that. And this is what this is. This is the Soda Toys Balrog right here. S-O-T-A Soda. Not the upcoming, because at the timing of this video, the Balrog for the current Street Fighter figures that are being made by, I think, is it Jazzwares or is it the other company that's making the current Street Fighter action figures? I forget. But it's not them. It's this is the Soda Toys Balrog. I don't think that Balrog has came out yet. Not Jazzwares. I think g.i.joe Street Fighter figures. g.i.joe Toys. Yes, that's what it is. I think that's exactly what that is. And you see the two boxers side by side each other, and you'll see them together again in a slideshow comparison, standing side by side each other. And speaking of boxers, before I go to the slideshow, if you want Big Boa to box against someone in the G.I. Joe line, you can buy the second version of Sergeant Slaughter, who comes with blue boxing gloves. And I think that him and Big Boa have the same boxing gloves, just different colors. So Sergeant Slaughter, the second action figure of Sergeant Slaughter in the G.I. Joe Classified line, has boxing gloves also, just in case you don't know. But I'm not showing him right now because I do not have that figure in my collection. I think I will one day. That's why you don't see me having Sergeant Slaughter in this video. But if you want someone in this line to box against Big Boa, that would be a good choice right there. You can buy that Sergeant Slaughter figure. Oh, I almost forgot, before we go on to the slideshow, I almost forgot about Big Boa's articulation. For you newbies out there, the head can go up that much, down that much, pretty good downward. Head moving, of course, side to side and all around. The arm has a little, you can spin the arm around like that, and you got a look like you might have a butterfly joint, somewhat of a butterfly joint. It's kind of hard to see, but if you look real closely, you can almost bend it that way. You see a point of articulation right here. elbow. I'm sorry, yes. I'm sorry, the shoulder. Then at the elbow, right here, the wrist can spin around and these cuffs can come off. And also this, if you want to, the armor is movable. If you want to, it can be removed. I don't see any clamps or nothing, but you can. It's definitely movable if you don't want it on. You might have to cut it off with some scissors. Okay, back to the articulation. As you see, he has an ab crunch right here, and you can twist them at the waist. That way, you can put them in all kind of good boxing poses for those boxing pictures. And upper thigh swivel right there. And at the knee, bends like that. You have articulation right here, and then more articulation down here at the ankle. Okay, now there we go. Now that takes care of articulation. Now we can move on to the slideshow. Okay, folks, now we have Big Boa out of the packaging. You see all the accessories he comes with. Barbells, gloves, helmet. There's the I think that's the right side. I can't remember if that's the right side or left side of the packaging with a nice artwork. And there's the other skills on the side. You see the QR code located under the as he is the 114th figure of the toy line, and that's how he looks when you open up the packaging and remove him out of the packaging, out of the box. All the accessories, the 2 boxing gloves, and 2 weights, barbell weights, and this helmet that he's known for. One thing I do not remember, and I didn't mention earlier in the video portion, is that I do not remember him having tape fists, as far as his tape fists being available in figure form before. So whenever I saw the vintage 1980s figures, you see all the accessories he comes with. You see the Cobra logo on the gloves, but whenever I see the 1980s vintage 3-inch figure, I don't remember him having regular hands, just boxing gloves for hands. I don't remember seeing any tape fists. Maybe he did have them. I don't know. I didn't have the 3-inch figure. Also, but I'm pretty much sure that the vintage figure did not come with a unmasked face. That's something new here. And as you see, he's a little bit over 6 inches tall, which is kind of almost a surprise. I thought he might be a little bit taller than that, more closer to 7 inches, and there he is. That's my efforts of having him working out right there in this picture with his weights, and that's how we know him. That's how, for those of us that grew up in the 1980s, that's how we remember Big Boa, like this, and not as he is packaged with his boxing gloves instead of tape fists, and a helmeted head instead of an unmasked face. For those of us that grew up in the 1980s, that's how we remember this figure. And there's how he looks from the right side with his helmet on. And there's a back view of his helmet. And as you can see, the little hole in the back for backpacks, which is all G.I. Joe classified figures come with that hole in their back, upper back, for backpacks. It seemed like there's my effort at making a boxing pose. I was trying to make him do a left hook in this picture. There's my efforts at making him do a left hook, and there's my efforts at trying to make him do a right jab in that one. I have him showing off his boxing skills now. That's my best effort at a right jab, and there's my effort at an uppercut with his right, and throwing another hook with his left. So those are my efforts at making him throw combinations. And there he is, photographed next to Balrog, Street Fighter fame. And look at how much bigger, as I mentioned earlier in the video portion, look at how much bigger Balrog's boxing gloves are compared to Big Boa. Not to mention how much bigger of a figure, look at how much bigger the Balrog figure is over Big Boa. And it's the same, there they are punching each other right there. It's the same Balrog figure as seen in the video portion. the Soda Toys Balrog, SOTA Balrog figure. And there's a close-up of the punches as those two box each other. And now you see Big Boa with other Cobra figures in the background. Cobra Commander and others. And there he is next to Destro and Storm Shadow. And you see the size differences between the three, and two of the best Cobra fighters right there. One is an expert boxer, the other is an expert martial artist. Two of Cobra's greatest fighters in that picture. And look at the size difference between Storm Shadow and Big Boa, as you see. There's the scan image of the back of the packaging as he's in a MMA type training setting. Like a mixed martial arts training setting. He's got the cage behind him, and you see his skills on the side of the packaging, and the box art again. 114. And that's the end of this video, folks. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Everyone have a blessed day, and we'll see you in the next video.